Today's lesson is turmeric, the super spice, day 1. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Kelsey.
Today we're going to talk about a special kind of flavoring or a spice that's kind of yellow, kind of orange, and it's common in Indian cooking, and that spice is turmeric. Are you a big fan of turmeric, Kelsey?
To be honest, I haven't really had a lot of food that has turmeric in it. I don't eat a lot of Indian food, so I'm not very familiar with this spice.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with it either, but I have a friend who is a health nut, and she recommends this in her diet, in anybody's diet, to take care of various ailments, and we're going to be dealing with that in today's lesson. Not only is it a tasty addition to various dishes, but also it has some health properties that are beneficial to our health, and we'll be talking about that in today's program. So let's get to it, everybody. Let's read the first part of our lesson one time.
Turmeric, the super spice. Turmeric has been turning heads recently in the health and wellness world. Though you might have seen turmeric, a bright yellow powder, being sold in supermarkets or health stores, you might well ask what exactly all the fuss is about.
大家好，今天第一个单字我们看到的是 fuss， 这个字当作名词，代表大惊小怪或是过分的激动的意思。例如 When Tina finally got her promotion, everyone made a big fuss over her. Tina 终于升迁后，每个人都大惊小怪。
Okay, welcome back, everybody, and it's time to start on the first part of our lesson about turmeric. So, turmeric has been turning heads recently in the health and wellness world. So, this phrase, turning heads, means attracting attention or interest. So, if you are walking down the street and you see a really beautiful girl, you might turn your head and look at her. So, she's attracted your attention. And that's why we use this phrase, turning heads. So in this case, turmeric has been attracting a lot of attention in the health and wellness world.
Indeed, it probably has for quite some time, but of course there are a lot of health foods out there, and turmeric seems to be the most recent one that is really popular. And though you might have seen turmeric, a bright yellow powder, being sold in supermarkets or health stores, you might well ask what exactly all the fuss is about. Yes, what is all the hubbub about? Here we've got the word fuss. Fuss just means people making a big deal about something. It's a really hot topic. What's all the fuss? Why is everybody so concerned about this? This sort of reminds me of my hometown. My father, one of his best friends in high school's name was Frank Fuss. F-U-S-S, but Frank Fuss is a really nice guy. He never made a fuss about anything. He, in fact, was the owner of the local Chrysler dealership, but again, that's kind of off the subject. It just reminded me of that. But the word fuss here, in its real meaning here, just refers to something that people are making a big deal about, maybe too much of a big deal about.
Yeah, so fuss can be kind of a negative word as well. Like if a kid is making a fuss about putting on his shoes before you have to leave the house, that means that kid is being troublesome, he's being annoying, he doesn't want to put on his shoes, so he's making a fuss. Maybe he cries or something like that. But in this case, we're saying, what exactly is all the fuss about? So what is all the fuss about means, why does everyone care about this thing? Why are they so interested in it? I don't understand. So I think that this thing isn't important. I think it's not very interesting, and I just don't understand why it's attracting so much attention.
Yeah, what's the big deal? Why is everybody so concerned about this? We'll try to answer that question as our program continues. Let's get to it. Let's move on to the next part of our lesson, and we'll talk about it.
A cousin of ginger, turmeric in its raw form is actually a golden-colored root with a somewhat bitter flavor that has been used as a spice in Indian cuisine for thousands of years. Around 2,500 years ago, however, the ancient Indians began using turmeric as a medicine too. Smoke from burning turmeric was used to relieve a blocked nose. turmeric juice was rubbed into wounds to help them heal, and turmeric paste was applied to the skin to treat skin conditions. And while skeptics might be tempted to dismiss these practices as mere ancient superstition, recent studies have confirmed that turmeric really does have some astounding medicinal properties.
第二部分我们看到的单字是 dismiss， 这个字当作动词，它有不予考虑、摒弃的意思，所以我们可以说 You shouldn't dismiss my advice without thinking about it first. 你不应该不先考虑就不接受我的建议。再来我们看到的单字是 mere， 这个字当作形容词，代表只不过或是仅仅的意思。例如 The meal was ready in mere minutes. 餐点在短短几分钟内就准备好了。接下来我们看到的单字是 superstition， 这个字当作名词，它有迷信的意思。例如根据迷信，摔破镜子会有7年的霉运。英文可以这么说 According to superstition, breaking a mirror will give you 7 years of bad luck. 再来我们看到的单字是 medicinal， 这个字当作形容词，代表药用的或是有疗效的意思。所以我们可以说 Some doctors believe that cinnamon has many medicinal uses. 有些医生认为肉桂有许多疗效。
Okay, welcome back, everybody. So it's time for the next part of our lesson on turmeric. So we had talked about how turmeric is a bright yellow powder. It's a type of spice, and it's been stirring up a lot of excitement in the health and wellness world. And we are going to talk about why it's been attracting so much attention.
Right, we're describing turmeric as a cousin of ginger, and turmeric in its raw form is actually a golden-colored root with a somewhat bitter flavor that has been used as a spice in Indian cuisine for thousands of years. So as a cousin of ginger, you all know what ginger is. It's jiang in Chinese. So turmeric is jiang in Chinese. So that helps you realize that, yes, they are related. They're similar. So we're saying they are cousins. I guess they're part of the same plant family. They are related. Usually a cousin in the literal sense means the son or daughter of your father's brother or sister. My cousins, for example, they lived in Kansas City and then they moved to Philadelphia. Years later, I could say my cousins, they were the children of my father's brother, the cousins. But if you talk about things that are related in terms of biology, you can call them cousins. Even if they're several generations away, you can still call them cousins if they're part of the same plant family or animal family.
Yeah, so they're not as close as siblings. They're not like a brother and a sister. They're not that close, but they are pretty close. So that's why we call them cousins. So a cousin of ginger is turmeric. And around 2,500 years ago, however, the ancient Indians began using turmeric as a medicine too. So we had just mentioned that turmeric had been used as a spice in Indian cuisine for thousands of years. And then more recently, 2,500 years ago, at least, the ancient Indians started using turmeric, this yellow spice, as a medicine. And smoke from burning turmeric was used to relieve a blocked nose. Turmeric juice was rubbed into wounds to help them heal, and turmeric paste was applied to the skin to treat skin conditions.
So this is kind of the history of turmeric. Again, as we said earlier in this paragraph, it was used as a spice in Indian cooking for thousands of years, and then they started using it as a medicine. I guess if you burn it or something, I guess if you take it out and dry it and then later burn it, you can breathe in the smoke through your nose, and that will help you with a blocked nose if you have an allergy or something like that, or if you have a cold. And then we have the juice here, where I guess you take the turmeric and mix it with water and you have juice, and you could rub it into wounds, like if you were walking through the forest or something and your leg rubbed up against some prickly plants or something and cut the skin open and you were bleeding. Well, first clean out the wound there, get rid of all the bacteria, and then you can rub turmeric juice juice into the wounds, and that can help them heal, to help them return to their original condition. And then the paste, which is sort of like a cross between a liquid and a solid paste, maybe like toothpaste or something like that. You could take a thicker form of turmeric and apply it to the skin to treat skin conditions. I guess if you have a rash or something like that, or maybe it will help your skin be soft and supple.
Yeah, so it sounds like turmeric had a lot of good uses. The Indian people found a lot of different ways to use this spice or this plant to treat people, to help people heal, and yeah, just a lot of medical uses for it. And while skeptics might be tempted to dismiss these practices as mere ancient superstition, recent studies have confirmed that turmeric really does have some astounding medicinal properties. So we have this word skeptics, first of all. So a skeptic is a person who's skeptical of something, so they are questioning something or doubting something. They just don't believe it.
Right, a skeptic, and they might be skeptical, so that's a person who doesn't really agree with common opinions in society. People say that this particular drug can cure cancer, but I'm skeptical. I'm a skeptic. I don't believe that. You got to show me some proof that that is true. Otherwise, I'm not going to believe it. So if you're a skeptic, you might be thinking, meh, this is just a lot of nonsense. It's those new wave hippies or something like that saying turmeric is good for you, but it's not really based in scientific fact. These skeptics might be tempted to dismiss these practices as mere ancient superstition. So they'll be tempted to do this, which means they won't really do it. But if you're tempted to do something, that means you really, really want to, but you really have to try to control yourself. If you're on a diet, you might be tempted to eat fattening food, for example, because it looks oh so tempting or oh so delicious. They're going to be tempted to dismiss these practices. If you dismiss something, that means you reject it, you don't accept it, and they're saying they're mere superstition or mere only ancient superstition. They're saying that this is what people believed 20,000 years ago, but nowadays we're modern people. We rely on science. I'm skeptical. I think it's a bunch of nonsense. It's superstition, which is kind of folk beliefs, right?
Yeah, superstition is a belief or a practice that is based on trust in magic or chance. Or it can also be a fear of something, a fear of the unknown. So you might think of a black cat as unlucky. We say if a black cat crosses your path, it's unlucky. But of course, this is just a superstition. There's no scientific fact behind it. It's just something that people believe, and it's just become kind of a saying or a commonly believed idea.
Right. If you walk under a ladder, you'll have bad luck and stuff like that. If you step on a crack, you'll break your mama's back. Those are all superstitions. And however, recent studies have confirmed that turmeric really does have some astounding medicinal properties. So I suppose up until recently, these skeptics had a point because there really wasn't any scientific research being done on turmeric. But recently, we have some studies or research that have confirmed. They have more or less proved that turmeric does have some astounding, amazing, wonderful, unbelievable medicinal properties. Astounding, as I just said, just means really, really great, really, really unbelievable, wonderful, magnificent. Medicinal means it has something to do with medicine.
So it's something that can be used or likely to prevent or cure or relieve disease. So basically, it's used like a medicine. For example, ginger. We already talked about ginger a little bit because it's a cousin of turmeric, but it's also believed to have some medicinal properties. A lot of people use it to treat things like upset stomach or to help with digestion. And so we would say that it has medicinal properties as well.
Yeah, some people believe that beer or stout beer like Guinness Stout, has medicinal properties. If you drink that beer, it will be good for your body. That's what some people believe. I don't really know if that's true. I haven't had a Guinness in many years, but in any case, yes, scientists have confirmed that turmeric does have some of these astounding, amazing, wonderful medicinal properties. Let's move on now to the third and final portion of our lesson. We'll listen to it first.
Turmeric's unique health benefits come from a chemical called curcumin, the same chemical that gives turmeric its distinctive yellow color. Curcumin has been shown to help with an impressive range of ailments, from short-term infections and dry skin to more serious long-term diseases like diabetes, depression, and cancer. It's small wonder that ancient Indians referred to turmeric as Jayanti, meaning one who is victorious over diseases.
第三部分我们看到的单字是 distinctive， 这个字当作形容词，它有独特的、特别的意思。例如，我的猫很好找，它的头上有一块很有特色的白毛。英文可以这么说 ：My cat is easy to find. He has a distinctive patch of white fur on his head. 再来，我们看到的单字是 infection， 这个字当作名词，代表由细菌或病毒造成的感染或是传染病的意思。例如 Charlotte didn't clean the cut on her finger, and soon she had an infection. Charlotte 没有清洁她手指上的切伤，所以她很快就感染了。今天最后一个单字，我们看到的是 victorious， 这个字当作形容词，它有胜利的或是获胜的意思。所以我们可以说 In a game of chess, the victorious player is the one who captures their opponent's king. 在西洋棋赛中，抓到对方国王的玩家即获得胜利。
Okay, welcome back, everybody. And it's time for the last part of our lesson. So we had just been talking about how turmeric actually does have real health benefits. It has medicinal properties. And turmeric's unique health benefits come from a chemical called curcumin, the same chemical that gives turmeric its distinctive yellow color. So curcumin is this chemical, and it gives turmeric its health benefits. And it also gives turmeric its distinctive yellow color. So distinctive means special or unique. It serves to distinguish or set something apart from other things. So this yellow color of turmeric is very special. It's what makes it special.
Indeed. So yellow is a pretty broad name for that color, but there are different hues of yellow, like lemons have a yellow color that are different from bananas, etc., etc. So this particular yellow color is unique, the color that turmeric has that no other thing seems to have. So it's distinctive, it's unique, it's special, so it has this unique distinctive yellow color. And curcumin has been shown to help with an impressive range of ailments, from short-term infections and dry skin to more serious long-term diseases like diabetes, depression, and cancer. So in this sentence, we're talking about a range of things. If you talk about a range of things, we use this pattern from something to something. So the range includes ailments, which range from short-term infections to more serious long-term diseases. So if you talk about an ailment, that is some kind of medical problem that you might have. It could be something major like cancer or something like that, but ailments in this particular case refers to minor things, which could include short-term infections. If you cut yourself accidentally and some bacteria gets in, then that is an infection. Or you just might have dry skin because you're in a place that's very dry, like someplace during the winter.
Yeah, so an infection is a disease caused by bacteria or by a virus. And like you said, it could be you cut your finger and it got infected. That's infection as a verb, of course. Or it could also be something like an ear infection. Kids often get ear infections, so you might have had one when you were younger, and that is another type of infection.
Right, so those are the first part of this range, from infections and ailments to these more serious long-term diseases such as diabetes, that's 糖尿病, and depression, which means you're feeling sad all the time, and cancer, the big C that a lot of people seem to get, lung cancer, skin cancer, etc., etc. Those are some more serious long-term diseases that you might have for a long period of time. So yes, curcumin might actually help you with those problems. It's small wonder that ancient Indians referred to turmeric as Jayanti, meaning one who is victorious over diseases. So it's small wonder, you could say it's no wonder or it's amazing, or it's not surprising, I should say, that these ancient Indians had a word for turmeric, and the word they had was Jayanti in whatever language it was there. India has got all sorts of languages there, but this particular one means one who is victorious over diseases. If you're victorious, that means you win.
If you're victorious, you win. You've beaten that thing. And in this case, turmeric has been victorious over disease. It's beaten disease. So with that, we've come to the end of the first day of our article, and it's time to take a listen to our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文一开始提到 Turmeric has been turning heads recently in the health and wellness world. 最近姜黄在健康和养生的领域中受到广大的关注。那句子里面有个片语 turn heads， 字面上的意思是把头转过来，那是用来表达说某人或是某事物很有意思，很吸睛，让人转过头来看。那我们可以用 turn heads 来指因为美貌啊，或是与众不同的特质，或是特别有趣而受到关注，引起注意。然后特别注意的是 head 它固定用复数形，例如The actress's evening gown turned heads at the premiere. 那位女演员她的晚礼服在首映会上很吸引目光，很引人注目。好，那顺便补充两个跟 head 跟头有关的用语。Turn something on its head 字面上是说把某事物的头转向，那是用来比喻说颠覆啊，彻底改变原有的概念或者是发展，那也可以表达出完全弄错或是完全扭曲的语义。举例来说The internet has turned the publishing industry on its head. 网络彻底地改变了出版业。好，那还有一个用语是 get one's head around something， 这表示使某人了解某事物。好，相反的 can't get one's head around something 就表示一头雾水不飒飒。例如 She couldn't get her head around the complex math problem 那个很复杂的数学题目让她一头雾水，完全都搞不清楚。好，接着读到课文最后一句 It's small wonder that ancient Indians referred to turmeric as Jayanti, meaning one who is victorious over diseases. 难怪古印度人把姜黄称为 Jayanti， 意思是战胜疾病的人。那我们在其他课已经有介绍到 It's no wonder, little wonder, small wonder 加 that 子句的句型了，表示难怪怎么样怎么样。那这边我们来补充可以表达相同语义的句型It comes as no surprise 或是 It comes as little surprise 加上 that 子句。那这个句型中的 come as a surprise 表示令人惊讶，叫人跌破眼镜，所以 come as no surprise 或是 come as little surprise 就表示不令人意外，意料之中。除了这个句型，我们还可以用It's not surprising 或是 It's hardly surprising 加上 that 子句。好，举例来说 It comes as no surprise that their plan was rejected 他们的计划被驳回一点也不令人意外，我早就预料到了。好，课文句子里面还有一个要补充的重点是 refer to A as B refer to 它表示指涉或者是提及什么什么， refer to A as B 就表示称 A 为 B。 那它的被动用法是 A be referred to as B A 被称作 B。 举例来说 Paris is often referred to as the city of light 巴黎常常被称为光之城。好，以上是今天的重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Fuss. Please don't make a big fuss for my birthday. A small party is all I want. Dismiss.We protested when they dismissed our plan as unrealistic. Mere. The mere thought of that man makes her frightened. Superstition. It's a superstition that walking under a ladder will bring bad luck. Medicinal. This tea has great medicinal properties, so have some if you feel yourself starting to get sick. Distinctive. Tiffany has a very distinctive accent that everyone notices right away. Infection. I think I'm coming down with an infection, so I called in sick to work. Victorious. Kevin was victorious over the other candidates in the election.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I am Kelsey.
See you next time.